Hi there, my name is Becca Pati and I am co-owner of Divine Health Studio. I just got a request to do a YouTube video for how to successfully get into crow. Crow, I find, is one of those poses that, especially when we first come to yoga, we look at as a pose that is to be mastered. We want to get into it so badly. I know that's how I first of all sort of looked at the position of crow. I have to say though that a lot of times the little things that we can do to prep ourselves to get into crow can be just as efficient and just as rewarding, and then eventually we get up into the pose and we feel so good about it. And so let's sort of look at it not as a pose to conquer, but more a pose to gently allow ourselves to move into and see if our body is ready for it. And there's a few ways so that you can kind of test to see if we can actually get into it today. So I'm going to show you a couple different preps, and then I'll show you the actual pose from a few different angles so that we can figure out if you've been practicing it in such a way that's going to aid you to get up into it. Okay, so to start with, we'll go from the side here. You can work your way into Malasana or garland pose, which is a pose that allows our hip flexors to be open, our knees to be up towards the sky, and I'll actually maybe face you here, so that might be a bit better. As I drop down, I squeeze my knees in towards my shoulder and my hands can press in together. If you cannot have your heels touching down, come up a little bit onto the toes and that's fine. Feeling maybe a bit of a pinching in through your hip flexors, maybe to come up a little bit, okay? So as we come down, squeeze the knees. You should actually almost feel like your shoulders are collapsing in, and then press your shoulders back into the knees. And you'll feel this wonderful energy just pull in towards the center of the body. If this pose is really challenging for you, chances are the knees are not going to be able to get up high enough on the arms to do crow, but we can modify a little bit and bring them down a little bit lower so that you can try it out anyway. So this is a pose to test. Malasana or garland pose is a good one. Another one is crow rocks. And so I'll turn a little bit to the side so you can see what I'm going to do. So from the side, what you can start to do is to ground down through your hands, lift your bum up just a little bit so that we're engaging the core. And today, maybe your knees do not slide all the way up to your shoulders, but they just go down by your elbows. And so I'll do a really shallow crow pose here, where you just lean forward and maybe hop up one of your legs, then the other. Maybe today you're just lifting up one foot, lowering it down, lifting up the other foot, and lowering it down. That's fine. If you're ready to take on the pose, there's a few key things that I find are really necessary for this position. As we ground down through the hands, we want the hands to be about shoulder width apart, fingertips pressing in towards the ground. The engagement of the core, we lift up the bum, knees squeeze to the outside of the arms, and the arms press back into the center line of the body. Think about the elbows going forward over top of your wrists. Lean, 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 head goes forward, toes come up. Engage the body here. Your fingertips will act as a brake. And then lower the toes back down again. That is just as much about your inner thighs and your core as it is also about finding that equilibrium. So we can try to muscle into that pose, or we can kind of breathe a little bit more, allow ourselves to do a few crow rocks, see if we can get our body back into that. So I'll once again go from the front so you can see. Engage, lift up, knees to the outside. Come forward first. Lean, lean, lean. Look forward, don't look down, look up. A little bit of breathing, and then gently lower the toes down. All right, anyway, I hope that has helped you just a little bit. And of course, you can rewind and check it out again if you need to figure out exactly where the hands and the elbows and your shoulders need to be. Namaste.